English?
I have a letter that says, if you have any questions, please call 1-877-805-8049 and reference case number ECW 230-104-03419. I have questions regarding the letter.
Okay, of course, I can understand the concern of wanting to have these questions answered, sir. So I do see here we do have the case regarding. Go ahead. Okay, if you can please provide me with a 2 to 3 minute hold, let me go ahead and reach out to the correct specialist, seeing if they're available, okay?
Who is the correct person?
I see here the correct specialist would be Miss Sulema.
Sulena?
Yes.
All right, thank you.
Of course, my pleasure. Thank you so much for your patience. I do apologize. I just want to go ahead and confirm. You said that the last four numbers are 03419, correct, sir?
Correct.
Okay, yes, I do apologize. So the correct specialist is Mr. Reginald. I will be reaching out to him, okay?
Mr. Reginald?
Yes.
Mr. Reginald doesn't have a name like the previous name, first and last.
Unfortunately, I would only be able to provide you with their first name. If they feel comfortable, I could go ahead and
Oh,
provide you with their last.
you didn't notice that you provided me the first and last name of the previous representative?
The previous representative is just Zulema. That's how we
Oh,
refer to her.
that's
That's how she
one
likes to be
name.
called.
That's one name.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Okay, just for one quick moment, let me go ahead and reach out to Mr. Reginald, okay?
Oh, sure.
Thank you so much. for your patience. I do apologize for the whole time. So I did go ahead and reach out to Reginald, and unfortunately he is currently in a meeting at this time, so I can go ahead and request for him to contact you.
Can you have him answer a question when he could prepare an answer for me when he calls back? Since you're on a recorded
Yes.
call, he could just listen to the call at his convenience and tell me how he would know whether or not a deposit from the United States Treasury Department was fraud if the customer didn't tell him. It seems to me he's reached a conclusion that a government transaction wasn't fraud, and I never asked for a fraud determination from your agency. I never asked you to investigate fraud, but this does look like that's what he did, and I'm not sure why. So if you could just have him answer for me, because if he works for the government, I think as a consumer I'd need to know. If you could just ask him for me, what what is it that he's using to determine that there was no fraud, since it was a government transaction? Has he investigated the government to find out whether it was fraud or not? I don't know what he's using to make that determination, and or why he's doing that. So now that that's the issue, because that's the only thing I need to speak to him about, can you tell me more about this procedure that's happening? Because it's unclear what this letter is in reference to, but I've threatened legal action against your bank for not filing paperwork to dispute a transaction of mine, and I haven't heard back from your bank about that. This letter is just all over the place about a whole bunch of stuff, but you still have the documents that need to be filed, and no one is saying why those documents haven't been filed. I didn't file them for a fraud investigation, and I filed them to dispute the transaction.
Okay. Yes. So in that regard, unfortunately, I wouldn't have that information you're seeking for, but I can go ahead and make sure I can notate it on the case, and seeing if
I'd like to
Reginald
speak
would
to
be
your
able to provide you
manager.
with
You
that
just
answer
said
also.
you don't know what process you're using with this here. So let me talk to your manager to see what they're doing.
Okay, so in regarding every case is different, sir. Unfortunately, we're an intake specialist department, so I wouldn't be able to
I
provide you with any
understand
answer you
that.
are seeking
I
for.
understand that, ma'am. Do you have a manager in your intake specialist department?
Yes, if you can provide with the 2 to 3 minutes on hold, let me go ahead and see if they're available, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you so much. much for your patience. I do apologize for the whole time. So I did go ahead and reach out to my manager, but unfortunately aren't available at this time. So I can go ahead and still request for Mr. Reginald to contact you.
That's not going to help me, man. Mr. Reginald is doing the same thing that you are. He's following the orders of your department, and you're telling me you don't know what your department does. So I'm hoping someone who trained you does. So is there anyone else there that other than you can explain what process your department is using right now with the documents I sent to you to dispute a transaction? I just need to find out who you are and what you're doing, because I don't know what you're doing now. This just seems like somebody's just sending me a bunch of papers that don't really mean anything and not telling me who you are.
Okay, yes, sir. I understand, but regarding unfortunately management isn't available. I can go ahead and request for Mr. Reginald's manager to contact you.
You're the only person available to speak on behalf of JP Morgan Chase?
Correct. At this very moment, unfortunately, I'm only able to provide you with the answer I'm able to provide. I can
Okay,
go
do
ahead
you
and make
have
sure
a
Mr.
legal
Reginald or his manager to
do you
contact you.
have a does your department handle legal matters on behalf of JP Morgan Chase?
Unfortunately, sir, we do not. You will
That's
have
who
to
I,
seek
okay,
legal advice
ma'am,
if you are
ma'am,
requesting
ma'am,
for advice
ma'am,
of
ma'am,
legal.
ma'am. That's all I need to know. I need to speak to someone who handles legal matters for JP Morgan Chase.
Our employees are expected to treat customers in a polite and professional manner, and they deserve to be treated likewise.
This call will be monitored and recorded, and your voice may be used for verification. Welcome to JP Morgan Chase Executive Office. Please enter the 10-digit extension of the person you are trying to reach, or remain on the line for the next available Executive Office specialist. Welcome to JP Morgan Chase Executive Office. We take pride in providing you with excellent service and look forward to speaking with you. An Executive Office specialist will assist you as soon as possible. The current hold time is approximately 2 minutes.
I need to contact your department that handles legal matters for JP Morgan Chase.
Our department does not handle legal matters. I do
I,
apologize.
oh, I already know that, ma'am. You just had one of your you just paid one of your employees to hang up the phone and get you on the phone with a very, very low volume. So I'm calling to find out which one of your department actually does handle legal matters.
We do not have a department that handles legal matters, though.
Oh,
I hear you.
This call will be monitored and recorded, and your voice may be used for verification.
she said, we don't have a department that handles legal matters.
Please enter the 10-digit extension of the person you are trying to reach, or remain on the line for the next available Executive Office specialist. Welcome to JP Morgan Chase Executive Office. We take pride in providing you with excellent service and look forward to speaking with you. An Executive Office specialist will assist you as soon as possible. The current hold time is approximately 5 minutes. Please remain on the line for the next available specialist. We appreciate your business and value the opportunity to serve you.
Hello, this is Grace with Chase Executive Office on a monitored and recorded line. May I have your name, please?
Zori Rush, I'm calling to find out where does Chase receive its legal service where you're being served
Okay.
with papers from a court by one of your customers,
Sorry,
no
I
less.
cannot hear you. The line is going in and out. Can you please repeat that for me?
Where does Chase receive legal service for civil claims or criminal claims? Where would the magistrate send the service to for you to appear in court to answer charges?
This call will be monitored and recorded, and your voice may be used for verification. Welcome to JP Morgan Chase Executive Office. Please enter the 10-digit extension of the person you are trying to reach, or remain on the line for the next available Executive Office specialist. Welcome to JP Morgan Chase Executive Office. We take pride in providing you with excellent service and look forward to speaking with you. An Executive Office specialist will assist you as soon as possible. The current hold time is approximately 3 minutes. Please remain on the line for the next available specialist. We appreciate your business and value the opportunity to serve you.
Oh, well, ma'am, I am no longer a Chase customer per my request to close all my Chase accounts. However, my account's still open today because your bank refuses to close it and keeps sending me these letters claiming that they are investigating fraud, that I've never requested that they investigate fraud. So I'm calling to find out how to serve your company with legal. I'm not an attorney, but I'm fully capable as a citizen of the United States of suing you myself. So I'm looking for the way to serve you with arbitration before we end up spending money on court. And then maybe your attorneys can look at what's happening and fix the problem inside your company before I have to spend more money to take you to court. All right. 9870. And who is that? That's your legal department. And it's the legal department for JP Morgan Chase. All right, what's your name again? Lacey? All right, Lacey. I've already recorded, and you're now live on YouTube, that 3 people in your department say that that department doesn't exist. They've all 3 people who work in the same capacity as you, who just answer the phone, were recorded saying that.
Connected. The number you have dialed is not in service. Please check.
Thank you for calling CT, a Walters Kluwer company, your partner in legal and compliance services. This call may be recorded for quality and training purposes. If you are calling to place a UCC order, press 1 to be connected with a UCC team member. If you are calling from a law firm, press 2 to be connected with a law firm team member. If you are calling from a corporation, press 3 to be connected with a corporation team member. If you are a process server and have questions about how to serve process, press 4. To repeat these options, press pound or remain on the line for the next available agent.
Thank you for calling CT. This is Marie speaking. How may I assist?
You said Marie.
Yes.
Hi, Marie. I had a very.
How are you? What,
Oh well, you. Let's skip right over that, Marie. I'm a former customer. I'll answer it that way, and maybe that can give you some idea of how I am. But I want to be very brief because I understand that your department may handle arbitration for the customers' issues, claims, or disputes. Is that correct?
no. What type of dispute do you have? Just so
Oh my goodness, my goodness, my goodness. Uh, the most horrible thing has happened. Evidence of an unconstitutional financial injury being caused by employees of your bank has fallen into my lap while you are straddling debt from an account that I requested be closed from 2 months ago. So it's a ugly, it's a really nasty, ugly thing. And I unfortunately, I think I know enough about the legalities of it to handle arbitration without getting an attorney involved with me for me on my behalf personally. But I think it is certainly time that JP Morgan Chase take a look at what I just caught. It's at least its attorneys take a look at what I just caught JP Morgan Chase doing with my property. So tell me who does this arbitration that's in the deposit agreement, because we're beyond. I mean, it's too late now because there's a constitutional injury, an injury to a consumer of the United States protected right to procedural due process. So at this point, it's irreparable and it's urgent. So I'm trying to skip through all the red tape to enter arbitration.
So we are just the third party who sends over the paperwork. We don't have anything to do with JP Morgan Chase or anything like that.
Sends over the
I would
paperwork.
reach out
What do you mean sends over the paperwork?
So we're just BT Corporation. We are just like the third party. So we receive service of process and we send it over to the correct recipient. We're like the messenger. We have nothing to do with what JP Morgan Chase sent over to you.
Are you the are you telling me you're the arbitrator?
No, no, we literally are the registered agent. So what we do is
Who are
we
you the
literally
registered agent for?
for whatever in this case would be JP Morgan Chase.
Thank you. So you are the registered agent for resolving the arbitration dispute on behalf of JP Morgan Chase.
No, we don't resolve anything. We just send the paper. We're just a messenger. We have nothing to do with any legal
Where do you get your paper
issues.
where do you get your paperwork from?
So for example, JP Morgan Chase or the state would forward to whoever's on file, whatever registration's on file, they send it to us. We receive the paperwork, we review who it's going to, and then we send it to that person. That's it. That's all we do.
Oh my goodness. Do you what
We're the point of contact.
what division of your company am I in right now? Because I went through the prompt where it just says hold for the next available person. So what division of your company am I in now?
So we are just the corporation, the segment, service corporation. So we just assist with, like forming businesses in whatever state you like, or if you need to close your business, that's what we do. That's what my department does.
Okay, there were three options there for when I came in. Are you unaware of what your other two divisions of your department do? Because it sounds as though you're describing what your division does and not what the whole of your company does for JP Morgan.
That is correct.
Okay, so maybe I should just call. Is there a way you could get me back to the whatever that automated system is? Because I don't think, or it probably best, ma'am, if you let me speak to one of your supervisors or managers and explain to them that I'm looking for the the office who handles arbitration for JP Morgan.
Okay. Do you mind if I put you on a brief hold to see who I can find that's available right now?
Sure, that's fine.
Okay. One moment.
Well, again. Higginbottom. Child, not the Higginbottoms.
Okay, sir. I'm gonna go ahead and transfer you over, okay? His name is Eric. He's gonna be assisting you, okay?
Thank you kindly.
You're welcome.
Hello, this is Eric.
Hey Eric, I think I just found the answer to my question though. Are you with either of these companies, JAMS or what is these? Looks like a Delta 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 Sigma for the Tri-Delt girls I knew back at Ole Miss, but it says ADR.org. Are you with either of those companies?
No, we're with CT Corporation.
CT Corporation. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Um, I think I've gotten an answer to my question then. Your phone number was given to me by a employee at JP Morgan Chase, and I think what's happened is I just caught that employee committing a crime trying to evade liability for this question because I just wanted to know how to get to the legal department that handles the arbitration, and I found it in the agreement, but they gave me this telephone number. So I'm going to contact this what's in this agreement and see if it's the right department.
Sounds good.
Thank you
So much.
kindly.
Have a good day.
You as well.
Thank you. Bye now.
Hello, and please listen carefully as our menu options may have changed. Calls are recorded for quality assurance. Oprima 9 para Española. We're very excited to tell you about a special promotion for select callers. This will only take a moment. By answering just a few questions, we will find out if this offer is right for you. Are you or is someone in your household 60?
Thank you for calling the American Arbitration Association. Please note that AAA is a neutral administrative organization, and therefore AAA staff cannot provide legal advice.
Do you handle arbitration for J.P. Morgan Chase?
Do you have an arbitration agreement with Chase that states that you can file with the AAA?
J.P. Morgan Chase offers an arbitration agreement with their deposit accounts, and a part of that agreement suggests that you are one of the options for arbitration through J.P. Morgan Chase.
Well, yeah, if you have that wording in your agreement, then yeah, you can file a case with us if you wanted.
Okay.
You just need to see a copy of that agreement. You would need to pay the filing fee and then fill out a demand form. That's
So
how
let
you
me
can
ask you a
file.
question, sir. Before I called you, did you handle arbitration agreements for J.P. Morgan Chase?
We don't handle arbitration agreements. The way it works is a company, let's say like Chase, if they want to include us
Let
in
me
their arbitration
rephrase the
agreement.
question, sir. Let me rephrase the question. Before I called you, had your company handled arbitration with J.P. Morgan Chase before?
I think you're not understanding, sir. We
Oh.
don't have a record of who we handle arbitrations for. The way it works is if someone wants to file with us, they have to provide us a copy of that agreement, and then that's when we would know if we can process that case or not. But we don't store agreements. That's between the company and their clients themselves.
So how do you generate revenue?
We're a not-for-profit organization, so when someone files for a case with us, they would pay the filing fee.
So you generate revenue from filing fees?
Correct. Administrative fees. That's how we get our work done.
So the way to file a arbitration with your office is to pay the fee to dispute J.P. Morgan
Correct.
Chase, and you understand that what I've just described to you in this agreement, in this disclosure of this agreement with J.P. Morgan Chase, is that your company is listed as one of the required companies to use for arbitration, which tends to suggest that your company has generated business favorably for JP Morgan Chase in the past. So you do understand my questions about whether or not you actually keep a record of who you are performing these services for. So who if all you do here at your department is accept the fee to process the paperwork, who actually performs the arbitration?
The arbitrators.
The arbitrators aren't selected from your company, because this is what this is saying. That
Arbitrators they apply to be on our panel, and if a case gets filed with us, we'll send out a list to the parties for the parties to make a selection. So each party will make a selection of who they want to be the arbitrator, and then of course once we verify there's no conflict of interest, then if parties agree on a specific individual, we
This
go
is
ahead and
my
appoint that
issue,
person
sir.
to be the
Maybe
arbitrator.
you're not understanding. I suggested all of that in the beginning when I
We did not
claimed
suggest
the.
all of that.
But
Now
let me
we're on
clarify you. Let
arbitration
me
agreement.
clarify when I suggested that in the agreement was a requirement to contact your agency, and I point blank asked you,
Well,
do
you
you
said
have
you said you
you
was
done
going to. You
arbitration with
stated the case.
J.P. Morgan in the past, which would lend you to be favorable to apply to this agreement, which would then make it unconstitutional because you would then be biased through the arbitration from the beginning. So the plain fact that you
We're not being biased,
alleviated
though,
that.
sir. We're not making a decision. I'm sorry.
Okay,
You're
it's
confusing
fine.
the
Well,
question.
all I'm doing right now is establishing the plain fact that there was a procedure to my questions for me to get an answer that I eventually got to once I paid a fee to your company. And I can understand you
Well,
trying
that
to
fee
tap that.
resulted
I
in
can
what you
understand
did,
you
sir.
trying to
I'm
tap
not going to
dance
argue
around
with
that.
you.
I can understand you trying to tap dance around that. But I have the procedures up here on the screen. Get off my phone.